BooTube. So, this is a remake video because as I was uploading two videos, one video on The Walking Dead and one on Supergirl, I don't know how I did it, but apparently I did it. I managed to accidentally delete an episode that I already uploaded, which was The Flash Season 3, Episode 5, titled Monster. I'm kind of mad at myself for that, because it's like, oh, come on! It's like, why? But anyway, this is a remake of it, so here you go! Episode 5 of The Flash Season 3, titled Monster. If I remember correctly, Caitlin, because of her killer Frosty powers, she manages to actually visit her estranged mother, Carla, who apparently is an owner of a medical research company. And she visits her because she wants her powers to be examined, right? And while that's happening, everyone else in Star Labs, they're dealing with this giant creature that's apparently repeatedly appearing and disappearing in the streets of Central City. And it looks like a giant freaking monster. Like, literally, even Barry says, it's a monster, right? And, again, during all that, Cisco is very suspicious of the newly recruited H.R. Wells, right? Remember, Wells from Earth 2 recruited H.R. Wells from, I believe, Earth 19 to pretty much replace him because him and his daughter have to go back home, right? And, Cisco's only suspicious of H.R. because he doesn't really seem to provide much help when they first battled the monster. And, when they first encountered it, the monster seemingly just vanished into thin air, right? And they're like, where'd it go? You would think a monster like that would be easy to spot, even if it just disappears from around the corner, right? And I found it weird, too. It's like, is this monster part ghost? Because, it just vanished. Can it, like, go through buildings or something? Because, it literally, a huge monster that was causing so much chaos and explosions everywhere, and it just, around the corner, and it vanished. And I was like, seriously? That's like the greatest monster ever! Something that huge that caused that much destruction could not disappear that easily. I am just saying, I'm not a monster expert, but you would think something that big that caused so much destruction would be easy to find even if it went around the corner. You know what I mean? But no, it vanished, like poof, gone. So it's like, I was kind of skeptic about it. Like, at first, I didn't think it was actually a legitimate monster, but it made a lot of damage, so obviously it physically could damage things, but the fact that it disappeared like that, it made it feel like it wasn't real, you know what I mean? But anyway, we also got more, butting of heads when it comes to Barry and, Julian. Barry actually, he's actually trying, and he actually tricks Julian by praising him, saying, I'm a bad forensic scientist, and you're such a good one. Can you teach me some stuff? Can I shadow you for a bit so I could learn things? Right? And, it happens for a while, and we actually get to know more of, Julian, like, apparently the reason why Julian doesn't like meta-humans is because of the fact that he hates the fact that these metahumans get these special powers and they do bad things with them. And I really don't blame Julian for that. It's like, if you're an outsider and you want to just help people and all that stuff, and then you wish you had these powers to help people, and then these other people, they get powers that they could use to help people, but instead use it for evil, right? And it's like, I'd be kind of pissed too, but, you know, you actually see more to Julian. You kind of sympathize with him because if you're in Julian's place, I bet you probably feel the same way. It's like, well, the good people would. I'm pretty sure there are people out there that probably would use it for evil. I'm pretty dang sure. Hang on for a sec, guys. Sorry, guys. I thought I heard something. But anyway, getting ready for the next attack from this monster, Julian, Detective West, and the rest of the police department, with the exception of Barry. Barry wasn't there at the time. They decide to, get some police snipers and, plant them everywhere to shoot at this monster. At the same time, Julian actually managed to pinpoint the location of where this supposed person who made this monster is, right? Because Julian thinks it's a metahuman. But then Barry, as well as everyone else from Star Labs, find out that this monster is actually a hologram who is being operated by someone, right? And Barry manages to expose that deception in time because all these police snipers are ready to, shoot down the monster, and he manages to tell the monsters, "Hey, stop! Dude, stop shooting, you're gonna harm these civilians. That thing's it's just a hologram," right? And at the same time, he manages to track down Julian, because Julian finds the person who is behind the whole monster thing, right? And he's about to shoot this person because he thinks the person is a metahuman that's making this monster, right? And just as he's about to, Flash stops him and pretty much revealed to Julian that this so-called metahuman is not a metahuman at all, but just a 15-year-old boy who basically created this hologram monster to pretty much bring fear to everybody, because this poor 15-year-old boy he's an abuse victim, basically. He's been bullied constantly, pretty much majority of his life. And he's been living in fear because of these bullies, and because of that, he wanted those bullies to feel fear just like they did with him. And so in order to do that, he created this monster hologram to scare everyone, including the bullies that scare him. And hearing that really tugged at my heart, really, because I know what it's like to be bullied for a very long time. I've been bullied more than 10 years of my life. And I'm only 25. More than 10 years of my life, I was bullied. I want to say almost even 20 years, almost 20 years worth of bullying in my life, and it's not easy. When you're a victim of bullying, especially if the bullying is very, very drastic, like mine, as an example, it was really bad. Like, in elementary school, I got bullied so bad that my bullies would actually pull me by my hands and legs and even my hair and drag me to a bathroom and shove my head in a toilet constantly. I couldn't breathe. I literally had to try to gasp for air or flush the toilet so I could actually breathe, right? And when you're a victim of bullying, it's not a very easy thing. And so I sympathize with the boy because, I know what it's like. Bullying sucks. And even till now, I'm still bullied. And just that kid's story really touched my heart a bit. And I'm starting to cry. Wow. Oh, God. I'd even cry in the previous video that I deleted. Oh, my God. Whew, okay. So I can't really blame the boy for wanting, his bullies to feel the very fear that they instilled in him. Because, quite frankly, I probably would be semi the same. Granted, I never done that before, but I could have been driven to that. I could have been so traumatized. I am seriously traumatized by my bullying because, like I said, it's almost been 20 years of my life of bullying. But I haven't reached that line where I actually wanted to instill fear and pain in someone else, right? And that could have been easily me. I could have crossed that line too. And it's just, like I said, it tugged at the heart. You know what I mean? And I'm actually crying. I'm literally crying. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm actually crying. And, I feel for the kid. He may be a fictional character in this episode right now, but I feel for the kid and anyone else who's been bullied like that. I feel for you. I know firsthand what that's like. It's a horrible feeling, whether it's being verbally bullied or even physically bullied, like mine, being dragged into bathrooms and practically nearly drowned in toilets, being taken in the back of the school, kicked and beaten up. That was me. That was all me since elementary school, and it's a hard thing to do. And I'm really glad that I didn't cross that line like this kid did. But, at the same time, you never know what could happen, Being bullied does things to your head where this becomes your last resort. You know what I mean? And it's really saddening. It really is. But anyway, we also found out in this episode that H.R. Wells had pretty much revealed that he has no technical knowledge at all. That back at his Earth 19, he's literally just the idea man in his company. He gives the ideas and that's it. And he's like he gives the ideas and he's the face of his company, but all the brain power is on everyone else, right? And the only reason why he agreed to go to Earth 1 was because he wanted to get some material, because apparently he's an author and he's writing a book. And the person that solved the algorithm that Earth 2 Wells sent out was actually one of the people, I think H.R. Wells' partner in his company that figured it out. But anyway, the team decides, after his little speech to give him a chance, they decide to give him a chance to prove his own worth as an assistant. And while that's happening, before the whole monster reveal happened, Caitlin, while she was visiting her mother, the mother and the assistant, a scientist, are helping out, figure out her powers and everything. And just as she's about to leave, that scientist pretty much locks her in and intends to use her to exploit her powers for his own personal gain. And because, idiot traps her in there, intends to use her powers for his own personal gain, and literally manhandles her, her eyes just turn a different color, and she actually attacks the scientist. It seems like she wasn't even herself. Her voice sounded so weird, and it didn't seem like she was herself. But, her mother shows up, sets her free and tells her to go, and that no one will know what will happen and what she did to this other scientist, right? And I'm actually scared, I'm happy Caitlin's getting her powers, but I'm actually scared that she might be turning into a villain. I really am. But anyway, Julian, he's really badly shaken because he just realized he almost killed a 15-year-old boy because he believed that it was a metahuman. And he decides to actually reconcile some differences with Barry, which I thought was really cool to see, I really want these two to bond because they can make a great scientific team together if they just, got along, you know what I mean? And anyway, Caitlin back at Star Labs gets a video call from her mother stating, your powers are increasing, but you need to stop using them, otherwise your condition is literally going to be irreversible. You're going to turn into a total ice woman if you keep using your powers. And as she's getting that message, she manages to freeze the damn computer, so it's like, oh my god, I'm happy she's getting powers, but I'm scared that she's turning evil. I'm scared that she might turn into her Earth 2 counterpart. It's really scary to think that. I'm happy, in this episode, I'm really glad Julian and Barry are reconciling. I'm glad that they decided to give H.R. Wells, give him a chance to prove that he's a good assistant, you know what I mean? And granted, he lied that he wasn't the one that solved the mathematical or whatever problem that Harry sent, but I give him props for wanting to prove that he's a worthy assistant, and he's an author. Come on, books. I love books. I love authors and books. But what I'm really scared is that Caitlin, while she's using her powers and she has her powers, I'm just scared that she's gonna turn evil. But other than that, this was a cool episode. And like I said, I really sympathize with the kid who created the monster. This episode really touched my heart because of that. And I really sympathize with Julian too because of the reason why he didn't like metahumans, because he didn't like the fact that they use their powers for evil. So I sympathize with both the 15-year-old boy and Julian in this episode. That's why I really liked it. But anyway, this is my remake reaction rant video to The Flash Season 3, Episode 5, titled Monster. And I'm sorry I cried in this video. Anyway, bye, Boto!